What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So with today's video, we're going to be talking about Chilean filmmaker Alejandro Jodorowsky's comments on Denis Villeneuve's upcoming adaptation of Dune, as last week Warner Bros. Caused a big stir among moviegoers with the release of the official trailer. If you guys are not familiar with the story, Jodorowsky famously tried and failed to mount his own version of Dune in the 1970s, with people like Dan O'Bannon and H.R. Giger, and ultimately, when that project fell apart, it led to them joining Ridley Scott on Alien, and the rest is history. If you'd like to know more about Jodorowsky's attempt on Dune, you can check out the documentary that came out a few years ago. It's really good, it's really in-depth, and it's actually quite fun, and a really interesting examination of a pretty big what-if in terms of Hollywood history. But something interesting happened this weekend, as Jodorowsky was interviewed by France's premier film magazine and talked about the upcoming adaptation of Dune from director Denis Villeneuve, and he wished the filmmaker nothing but a great success. But what exactly did he think of the trailer? Well, his actual thoughts are a bit more mixed. Jodorowsky said, quote, "I saw the trailer, it's very well done. We can see that it is industrial cinema, that there is a lot of money, and that it was very expensive. But if it was very expensive, it must pay in proportion. And that's the problem. There are no surprises. The form is identical to what is done everywhere. The lighting, the acting, everything is predictable." He continued by saying, "Industrial cinema is incompatible with auteur cinema. For the former, money comes before. For the second, it's the opposite. Whether the quality of a director, whether my friend Nicholas Winding Refn or Denis Villeneuve, industrial cinema promotes entertainment. It is a show that is not intended to change humanity or society." So essentially he's saying that Denis' adaptation of Dune is meant to be much more of a blockbuster. It's not going to take chances or be like an art house film like how he was envisioning his version of Dune, which if you have seen concept art for it, he was going to go for crazy visuals and just stuff that was completely out of nowhere, things that you wouldn't expect, because he was going to interpret Dune through his own lens, and not just kind of do a frame-by-frame, one-to-one copy of Frank Herbert's novel. Another interesting thing is Jodorowsky also commented on David Lynch's film from the 1980s back in August with an interview with IndieWire, and in that interview, Jodorowsky was much less forgiving of David Lynch's film, because during their conversation he said, quote, "Dune is a book that's like Proust. It's science fiction, but it's very, very literary. It's very difficult to find images to put in the film because pictures are optical. The first time they said it was safe to do Dune and David Lynch did it, I was ill, because it was my dream. They showed the picture in Paris and my son said, 'You need to see this picture.' I was ill to do that. And then they start to show the picture, and step by step I was so happy because it was a shitty picture. I realized, Dune, nobody can do it. It's a legend." So despite all of his comments about the fact that Dune is impossible to film or impossible to make, he does wish nothing but success for director Denis Villeneuve on his upcoming adaptation, which is still scheduled by Warner Bros. To hit theaters this December. So drop your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree with Alejandro Jodorowsky's review of the trailer for Dune and what it means to be an industrial cinema versus auteur cinema? And do you think that Denis' adaptation is going to be commercial, or if it's going to have his own flair, because the filmmaker is known for having a very unique style, which was shown in stuff like Prisoners, Arrival, and Blade Runner 2049. If you like this video and you want to see more content from me, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon next to it so you can be notified whenever I drop new content. If you want to hit me up on social media to talk about Dune or anything in pop culture, you can find me in the links down below. With all that being said, I'll catch you guys next time.